Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Liam's mesmerized by a blast from the past, and Deacon and Finn hit a snag rescuing Sheila. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In the abandoned warehouse, Finn asks, "Mom, can you hear me, Mom?" Deacon looks panicked and asks if it's too late. Sheila's eyes begin to open as Finn shines a light on her. He says, "Mom, it's me, Finn." He soon exclaims, "You're alive." Deacon pats Finn on the shoulder as they are overcome with emotion. At Forrester, Steffi leaves Finn a voicemail asking if he's okay. She's been feeling a little uneasy. "Call me when you can." Hope comes in and asks, "Can't get a hold of Finn." She figures he's with a patient. Steffi muses, "Probably, yeah. Hope's sure Finn will be in touch when he can." Steffi knows. Hope thinks it must be a nice feeling knowing that a lot of people rely on her husband. She's sure he's making a really big difference in someone's life. Steffi muses that he's always dealing with a life or death situation. Hope says whoever he's with is in capable and caring hands. At Il Giardino, Liam tells the waitress that someone special is joining him. Someone he hasn't seen in a long time. Just then, Ivy appears in the doorway. She rushes into his arms. He marvels, "Oh my God, it's been so long, Ivy." Ivy replies, "Too long." They smile at each other. Ivy thanks Liam for meeting her. She wasn't sure he'd be interested. She tells him she's just passing through LA, and she spent time with Eric, who wants her back in the jewelry department at Forrester. Liam asks, "What's your secret?" Ivy frowns, "What do you meant?" Liam marvels, "You just look so happy and beautiful." Ivy admits she sometimes thinks about moving back to LA. Liam jokes, "Oh, great, it's settled." Ivy laughs that her life is very busy in Sydney, but never say never. She asks how he's doing and was sorry to hear about him and Hope. Liam shrugs that it wasn't easy to go through, but good things are on the horizon. He's focusing on work and his kids, and that may prepare him for the next thing. Ivy muses that Thomas left Hope. "Do you see yourself going back to Hope?" In her office, Steffi flashes back to Finn being distracted at home and not wanting breakfast. She recalls that he was quiet the night before as well. Finn cryptically said he had more questions than answers. Hope interrupts Steffi's flashback, and they talk business for a moment before the brunette asks, "How are you doing?" Hope figures she's not asking about the line. She admits it's been a bit of an adjustment with Thomas and Douglas gone, but she's trying to focus on what she can control. Steffi says the line has been incredible. She asks if Hope is seeing anyone. Hope cops, "Seriously, Steffi? Thomas hasn't been gone that long." She wonders if Steffi is hoping she and Liam will get back together. In the abandoned warehouse, Deacon tells Sheila she'll be fine and Finn will take real good care of her. He realizes she's chained up by a leg iron and asks Finn, "Any suggestions?" Sheila whispers, "Help me, help me, help me." At Il Giardino, Liam tells Ivy he doesn't think him or Hope are in a place where they want to jump back in. He doesn't know what the future holds. He'll always care about Hope and Steffi. They're so cool about the co-parenting stuff and are great role models for the kids. Ivy guesses they're thankful too. He's pretty fantastic. At Forrester, Hope tells Steffi that she and Liam have spent more time together, but that doesn't mean they're getting back together. The resentment has calmed down and she's grateful for that. Hope wants Beth to see them getting along. Steffi checks her phone and asks, "So, are you going to make a play for Liam?" Hope thinks Steffi should focus her energy on Finn. In the abandoned warehouse, Finn asks Deacon to give him a bottle of water. He cradles Sheila's head and tries to give her some. She chokes. Realizing that it's her son holding her, Sheila looks hopeful. At Il Giardino, Liam wonders if Ivy is flirting with him. She admits she is and offers to dial it back. Liam shakes his head, "Don't dial." Ivy's not trying to be forward, it's just that she thinks about him a lot. She hasn't forgotten the good times they shared and how close they became. Stroking his face, she says, "And how close I wished we'd become." Ivy then kisses him and caresses his beard. She remembered that most of all, how great it felt kissing you. At Forrester, Steffi concludes a work call and rejoins Hope. She tells her that her focus is on Finn and her children. Hope just thinks whatever happens with her and Liam shouldn't matter to her. Steffi reminds her she's her daughter's father. In the bustling heart of the city, where neon lights flickered like stars against the obsidian sky, Liam found himself ensnared in a time warp. It wasn't the usual déjà vu that brushed against his consciousness. It was a tangible pull, a magnetic force drawing him toward a past he thought he had left behind. It all started innocently enough, with a leisurely stroll through the vintage market that had popped up overnight, like a carnival in the heart of the city. The air was heavy with the scent of nostalgia, mingling with the aromas of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling street food. Liam meandered through the labyrinth of stalls, his fingertips grazing over vinyl records, antique trinkets, and faded posters that whispered stories of bygone eras. But it was a particular corner of the market that caught his eye, a cluster of old-fashioned televisions, their screens flickering with grainy images from another time. Mesmerized, Liam approached, his steps guided by an unseen hand. His reflection danced across the screens, superimposed over images of sock hops, poodle skirts, and greased-back hair. He was lost in the past, drowning in a sea of sepia-toned memories, when a voice shattered the illusion. Liam, are you all right? It was Deacon, his best friend since childhood, his anchor in the chaotic tides of life. Deacon's concerned face swam into focus, pulling Liam back from the brink of reverie. "Yeah, I'm fine," Liam muttered, tearing his gaze away from the hypnotic screens. "Just got lost in thought for a moment." Deacon arched an eyebrow, his skepticism evident. "Lost in thought or lost in time? You've been staring at those TVs for ages." Liam shook his head, dismissing Deacon's concerns with a wave of his hand. "Forget about it. What brings you here, anyway?" Deacon hesitated, his gaze flickering to the vintage televisions before settling back on Liam. "Actually, I was hoping you could help me out with something. It's Sheila." Sheila. The name sent a jolt of electricity through Liam's veins, banishing the remnants of his nostalgic reverie. Sheila was Deacon's on-again, off-again girlfriend, a whirlwind of passion and unpredictability who had a knack for stirring up trouble wherever she went. "What's she done this time?" Liam asked, already bracing himself for the worst. Deacon grimaced. "She's managed to get herself stuck in some abandoned building downtown, said she was looking for vintage treasures or some nonsense like that." Liam sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose in frustration. Sheila's antics were nothing new, but they always seemed to escalate when least expected. "All right, let's go bail her out before she gets herself into real trouble." Together, Liam and Deacon navigated the labyrinthine streets of the city, their footsteps echoing against the concrete walls like a heartbeat. They arrived at the abandoned building, a relic from a forgotten era, its windows boarded up and its facade crumbling with neglect. "Sheila," Deacon called out, his voice echoing through the empty corridors. "Sheila, where are you?" There was no response, only silence punctuated by the distant sounds of the city outside. Liam's senses were on high alert as they ventured deeper into the building, their footsteps muffled by layers of dust and debris. And then they found her. A lone figure huddled in the shadows, her face illuminated by the glow of her smartphone screen. Sheila looked up at them with wide eyes, relief washing over her features like a tidal wave. "Thank God you're here," she breathed, scrambling to her feet with a sense of urgency. "We need to get out of here now." But before they could make their escape, a deafening roar echoed through the building, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. Liam's heart plummeted as he realized the source of the noise, a structural collapse, triggered by years of neglect and decay. "We're trapped," Deacon muttered, his voice laced with resignation. But Liam refused to give up hope. Drawing on reserves of strength he didn't know he possessed, he rallied his friends together, their determination a beacon of light in the darkness. They searched for an escape route, clawing through rubble and debris with a sense of purpose that bordered on desperation.